Everybody, Chief Meteorologist Tim Buckley live with you now. It's 6:30. That means time for Weather Impact here on WFMY Plus. Thanks for being here with us. It's going to be a bit of a busy night of weather. We've already seen throughout the daytime hours that we've had a good amount of stuff kind of coming in. The first half of the day was all waiting for the rain to arrive. Now it's arrived, and we're going to be watching it through the next couple of hours. And really overnight, we'll actually find some heavier pockets of rain that start to develop, small potential of thunder, and also really looking towards some gusty winds as part of this as well. So let's get right to it. I'm going to show you the weather graphics here and take a look at your radar picture, which has been getting busier, a little busier by the moment across North Carolina. Let's take a look here as we kind of see your weather radar picture across the state. At the moment, we're seeing the radar is filling in pretty nicely. Let's take a closer view of our triad area, and as we look into Winston-Salem, Greensboro, Asheboro, Lexington, doesn't matter where you look, we're all finding rain at the moment. So let's pause this. We all know it's coming in from south to north, and just kind of give you a little bit of a radar tour right now. So let's zoom into Guilford County, for example. We're getting a few breaks in the action. It's been fairly steady the last couple of hours, but there are at least a couple of breaks. So right now, mostly wet on the west side of Greensboro, from Jamestown to High Point, farther north towards Summerfield and Lake Brant and these areas, you're getting a good amount of rain. However, on the south side, down toward Pleasant Garden, over toward Liberty and Julian, Whitsett as well, these areas on the east side of the county, not raining quite as much. So you could see some of these gaps that just kind of pop up from time to time. But the rule will pretty much be rainfall the next several hours. The heaviest rain at the moment, that's in Forsyth County, Winston-Salem. Take a look at that. In fact, it's really coming down right now along Silas Creek Parkway, Highway 52. It's just a wet ride. If you have a late evening commute here, you're really dealing with it. In fact, let's take a live look. This is our camera in Winston-Salem. It's not a good picture at the moment in a couple of ways, but it's definitely low visibility. We've seen lower cloud bases from time to time. So if you are out and about this evening, low visibility is a bit of a factor. Also just wet roadways, windshield wipers going, and all the like. That's going to be something that you'll have to deal with. Here's an odd temperature map. Not something we usually see, but we do get it from time to time. It's part of that cooler air wedge pattern that we tend to see in the wintertime. What's going on? Well, we had cool air in place already. It was cool and dry. Then you're bringing in warmth and humidity from the south. Cold air is hard to push out of the way because it's heavier. Warmer, more humid air is actually quite a bit less dense. So it can't really move the cold air out of the way, which is why we still see it stuck over here in the foothills. Mount Airy, we're thinking of you. We're hoping you're all right. We haven't heard from your sensor in a little while, but someone hopefully will fix it eventually. But we know it's 41 in Wilkesboro. We also know it's 54 in Greensboro and close to 60 in Raleigh. So it's one of those days here where we have a bit of variety across not only the Piedmont, but also across the state of North Carolina. I mean, take a look at this. If you're going on a beach walk in Wilmington tonight, it's pretty breezy, but it's mild. Temperatures are in the 60s, and even the dew point, the humidity, is in the 60s as well. So that's something to kind of keep an eye on. You know, we do need to mention our need of rainfall. And when we talk about the rainfall, we should be talking about the drought also. We get new numbers on this once a week. It happens on Thursday. And we just got that fresh report out today. That shade of tan is just expanding bit by bit. That's meant to show you where we have a D1. It's called a D1 drought, or a moderate drought. It's the lowest form of drought. It's not super severe. We're not going to be talking about water restrictions or anything like that. But we do need the rain. And we're getting it, at least some of it, overnight tonight. You would need several inches of rainfall to put an end to this drought, probably more than 4 inches or something. We're not getting that, but we're putting a little bit of a dent. Now, we have a ways to go. Take a look at so far. We've only picked up less than 1/10 of an inch. But remember, this has just started to begin. Wilkesboro, you're doing very well, over 1/2 an inch, or closing in on 1/2 an inch of rain, I should say, for this evening. So let's kind of start to talk about the next couple of hours and what they might look like. Here's our forecast model, which I've advanced it a little bit too far. Let's kind of backtrack ever so slightly. What it has is some moderate to heavy rainfall between now and about 8 o'clock this evening. And then beyond that, it continues to kind of show a lot of it. And then it shows a bit of a break between midnight and around maybe 2 or 3 a.m. This is a time of night that we might want to watch very closely. There's potential along the cold front itself of even a little bit of thunder not completely out of the realm of possibility. When you look at the temperatures here, they could be around 60 degrees. So we have some warmth, we have a little bit of humidity, and we have a front. All of those are factors that we tend to want to watch for. Now, it's overnight in the wintertime, so there's probably not a huge concern for severe weather necessarily, but let's keep an eye on that. The wind gusts are going to be something to watch overnight tonight, but also throughout the day tomorrow, gusting around 30 to 35 miles per hour. We could see a wind gust around 42 as well. So let's watch for that. The winds will be really high in the mountains, but they'll be, a pain around here as well. I don't think we'll be seeing power outages or anything like that, but it is going to be a windy day of weather for your Friday. All of the rain that we find with this system, that's happening this evening, overnight. Once you get past 5 to 6 a.m., we shouldn't see any more rainfall, but it will get windy like we were just mentioning. Temperatures kind of backwards tomorrow as well. It'll be around 60 in the early morning hours and then kind of just steady through the 50s in the middle of the day. Then we're not done with winter. There will still be some chill. We'll get down into the 20s by Saturday morning. And in your extended forecast, we'll mostly start out on the cool side for Saturday and a little bit warmer for Sunday. But looking ahead to next week, just take a look at this. We call this the upper level weather pattern. So basically, it's kind of where the jet stream is. And if you look at it on the wider view, you have a good idea of who's seeing warmer than average weather and cooler than average weather. Out west, they have the Christmas cool down. We don't. In fact, this is a big area of high pressure in the upper levels. That tends to mean it's going to be pretty warm. And that's what we're expecting. We're expecting it to be pretty warm. It won't last forever, but at least for a couple of days, probably a 3 to 4 day warm up looks pretty likely for our area. So what are we thinking? We have ourselves right around 60 for Christmas Eve. That could trend a little warmer. Christmas Day, mid 60s. Right now, I've got us at 64 degrees for Christmas Day. Overnight lows above freezing. Hey, by the way, if you like those numbers, today was our first day of the month with a low temperature above freezing. It happened a really cold start to December. Here's your 7-day forecast. Deal with the rain tonight. We'll have the wind with us start to whip up after midnight as well. And that wind sticks around throughout the day on your Friday. Saturday and Sunday are both dry, cool at first. Sunday is warmer, and we're cold on Monday. You really got to watch the weather forecast this time of year because it changes daily. Monday will be chilly, but we warm up right after that. Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday going into Christmas. That's where your warmth really starts to settle in. Let's look at your forecast. We're going to be coming right back in just about 2 minutes.